Let's take you back to that story on the DA now. Its leader, Mmusi Maimane, we're reading, has apparently come under fire for comments he made about white privilege on Freedom Day. For analysis on that story, we're joined via Skype by political analyst Sanusha Naidu. Good morning to you, Sanusha. So we've just spoken to the DA spokesperson, Refilwe Ntsege, and she is under the impression that it was all one big misunderstanding and the rest of the leaders just wanted clarity on Maimane's comments. Is that a convincing explanation, do you think?
I think the DA, good morning to you and the viewers. I think the DA has just been limping from one crisis to the other. The latest being, in my opinion, one that perhaps starts to unpack even the question around how much of leadership does Mmusi Maimane have within the party, and more importantly, how much is he able to increase his influence and leverage. The fact of the matter is that it seems to be much more than just what the spokesperson has indicated in their comments to you today, but it seems to be one that we have to start thinking about in terms of what cohesively is happening within the party, how much of the federal executive and how much of this inner working of the party is still trying to grapple with its internal constituency issues and fragmentation around particularly questions around race and class.
Were Mmusi Maimane's comments about white privilege and black poverty always going to set the cat among the pigeons?
Definitely. I think this came out of even before their Congress a few weeks ago, where you could see those issues emerge. You could see those underlying tensions starting to emerge, particularly if you examined Mmusi Maimane's closing remarks to the Congress. And so, in many ways, I think that the comments he makes as well on Freedom Day, in terms of what are some of the challenges and difficulties confronted by the party, is definitely going to be one that's going to be controversial. It's going to be viewed in a controversial way, and it's going to create tensions in the party or exacerbate already existing tensions. I think not only his comments are something to go by. I think even in the way in which we've seen the DA deal with Patricia de Lille, we've seen the questions about what's happening in Nelson Mandela Bay. We've seen possibly other issues emerging as well in terms of whether or not this party is ready to move forward in terms of the kinds of modernization, the kinds of post-apartheid South Africa credentials it wants to, as it's expanding its footprint, incorporating more and more people within its ranks and increasing its membership. I think there's still a hesitancy to fully embrace a liberalization and a transformation agenda.
Do you believe Mmusi Maimane to be a leader with a target on his back, or is that an exaggeration as claimed by Refilwe Ntsege in that earlier interview with us?
I think for now, it's a question of not so much about whether there's a target on his back. I think the question really now is, if they wanted clarity, why does it have to? The question is are they going to be satisfied with him explaining his comments and providing them with clarity? Are we going to see another so-called de Lille saga emerge as well, that perhaps they may claim that he may have brought the party into disrepute, or there's a credibility issue, etc. So here's the issue for me, is what are the precedents that have been created within the party and how they're going to go forward, and whether or not they're going to see this as a way in which to say, well, let us go much more further than just a question of clarification.
Does the DA have capacity then, Sanusha, do you think, to deal with the various crises facing it at the moment?
It seems to me that it's trying to. It's being challenged internally. It's trying to look for different instruments in order to try and address some of these capacity weaknesses it has. And I think to a large extent, these are some of the challenges and tensions that the DA has to deal with, because it wants to grow. It has an election to contest next year. And the challenge here is that I don't think they're looking. If Mmusi Maimane's closing remarks to the Congress was very informative, because he never spoke about going for becoming a opposition that actually challenges the ANC and takes over control at the national level. He's talking about a party that starts to build its credentials and its governance at the city level. So he's talking about city level governance and city level power. So I think to a large extent, this party now is losing confidence its credibility is definitely against the ropes. But again, the question is, why is this happening to the DA now? And why is it that it's not being able to resolve some of the issues? And what will be the impact at the polls next year?
Sanusha Naidu, political analyst, joining us from Cape Town today. Thank you for your time.